Rabbi Sai, we're holding today in Chulin Daf Chuf Zayin, starting the second parak of Maseches Chulin. Ma'amish now second parak. Barry, please be careful with your.
Don't reach out.
Be careful of your big feet.
Don't scratch.
Just you know.
I won't call it.
Okay. So Rabbi Sai, we're starting the second parak. Opening the Zoom. Here we go. Chazayim Amudav Zog the Mishnah Hashoichet Echod Beoif V'Shnayim Bebeheimo Shchitoso Iksheru. So if you're shechting one siman and a bird, or two simonim and a beheimo, it's kosher. Ruboy Shel Echod Kamoy. The roiv is good enough. Ruboy Shel Echod Kamoy. The roiv of one by a bird, or the roiv of each one by a beheimo. But here goes the chiddush we'll see in the Gemara. That by a beheimo, you must have the beheimo have the majority of each one of them. So if somebody went and did the full siman, one, and the other one he did roiv, the din is that what? That's not good enough. Yes, if one he did half, if he did 1.5, it's not good. It has to be a roiv of each one. Minimum of roiv of each one. You must check also the vridim, the sinews. We're talking here specifically about a bird, but only by the bird you have to check the sinews to let the blood go out.
Echad be'of means either one.
Yeah, either one. See that in the Gemara. If you were topic, either one. Very good. Chatzi echad ba'oif, half by the bird. Ve'echad v'chetzi be'be'imah, to mention before, shchitas psula. Even though it could be the same amount, meaning if one went and did 60% of the veshet and 60% of the kane, totally has 120%, he is yoytze. But if he did full veshet and 50% of the kane, so he has 150%, not yoytze, because you have to have at least a roiv in each one. So we repeat repetition, but just explaining the majority of one by oif or two by behemoth shchitas ksheru. Says the Gemara.
The Mishnah says
Vridim is by bird only, and not shittas of Yehud. They have to check also the sinews. Not talking about the
by a behemoth.
Behemoth, you don't have to do that. According to Rabbi Hashoichet di'evet lechatchila loy. Mashma, it says Hashoichet. Mashma di'evet, it's good. Says the Gemara, Shnayim behemoth lechatchila loy at kama lishchet v'leizet. What do you mean? It says Hashoichet echad b'shnayim behemoth shchitas ksheru. He did one and oif or two and a behemoth. It's okay. What do you mean it's okay? You want me to do more? What else you want me to do? You're right. By behemoth, you did fully. By oif, one is, that's the other wife is kasher. You don't have to do more, but one is okay. If I say reflecting what it says ksheru, we're in the next sentence. That's what we're referring to. How do you know the shchita is in the neck? Shenema v'shochat is ben haboker. And we darshaning mimokoim sheshach chateu. Shochat is shach chateu. Shach means where he leans down. The head goes down. Right? So he's able to crave with the head. That's where you do the cutting. Says the Gemara, Mimai de'ai chateu lisha d'chuyu. Chateu means you purify him, make him kosher. Who said the chateu means to purify? It says you purify the house. So you're going to purify me with the ezoif, with sprinkling the blood of the paradum. Maybe we talk about the tail. The tail also goes down. So the most shach meaning it's shach, it means that usually it's not shach. Usually it's not bend down. When it walks, Rashi says that the way it walks, it always walks standing up. So the head stands up. Usually when the animal walks, the head stands up. Sometimes he puts it down. But the tail is the opposite. Usually the stick goes down, and then he picks it up once in a while. Says the Gemara, and the sentence is, the tail is down naturally. Maybe it means you have to check it from the ear. Says the Gemara, You need to have dam nefesh. You have to have the dam that comes shenefesh yoytza bo. It means blood that comes from the internal body, not coming from not a wound. What?
Why didn't he give that answer first?
By who? By the tail?
Yeah.
Because the tail goes straight into the animal.
No, why didn't he? When he asked about it, maybe it's the tail.
So tail goes straight into the animal. Meaning the tail you could get straight into the stomach. You go to dam nefesh. By the ear, not. Let's go on the stairs. Says the Gemara, last sentence here. The aim of the korvazel dam nefesh. Maybe he's tearing down from the ear down to dam nefesh. Vetu. In addition, ask the Gemara. Shehiyo dorsa cholda agroma v'yikuminal. These are the 5 halachas of shchita. Shehiyo is not allowed to wait, have a delay in shchita. Dorsa means you're not allowed to go and press it in. Do it in one shot. Cholda means that you start from the middle. Hagah means that you go out in the middle. And Ikra is moving the simon. How do you know that? Ela Gemara. Elamai, it's a Gemara. In other words, it comes to Locham Sinai. Shchitinami minatzover nami Gemara. Really, it's coming from the Torah. The Koi Lamai Osa, the Shavi Gister. According to this man, the Amai, that's what this learns, means don't cut the head to cut off. Don't chop off the head. The body, meaning the head from the body. Don't make it Gister. Rashi says, don't cut the neck to two. In other words, you should make sure to take out the blood. And then Torah Rashi means another shot that it means shelo yidros. It just means you do it in one shot. That one you do learn from the pasuk. So two shot in what it means over here. But the Gemara is saying this pasuk. I know really the shechita from Allah Moshe Sinai. This is special. You want to say something before?
Why did he start with the ear? It could have been any place. Could have been the nose. Could have been another.
It needs to be something that goes down. So the ear of a cow, it folds down sometimes. Like we said, shach. Because we got to the ear. Very good point. Ravima Omar called different Joshua. Vizovachto. B'mokum shezav chateo. Place where a lot of blood comes out. What is that? The neck. So then when my mashnai chateo lishton in the midvaru, who says chateo? It means you break it and a place where blood comes out. Because here chateo means that you're breaking it. How do you know that means loshen shviro? Don't be afraid and don't break from fear. Maybe it means from the nose, because there also it's zav. It comes out. Zav has to be because you cut it. The nose takes out, runs on its own. It means the heart. Ela Gemara. This one number holds. From here you learn you don't do gistro to cut the neck of the two. That's option number 2. Option number 3. Tibra bishmol tano v'shochat the kivishochat ela v'sochat. Sochat lashon sicho kushesach chateu. It has to be a place where he talks. Where does the animal talk from? Makes noise from the mouth. It means cut the tongue. Similar answer, you have to come to the inner blood. Maybe to get tear down to the nefesh. What about the other halachas of shchito? Very similar again. Tosis is dealing with it a little bit. Each one the Amar learns from a different pasuk the idea not to do gistro. The following Tano said from the following. How do you know it's checked from the neck? It says they arranged the nesochim, the pieces of the carbon. Then it says rosh means the head, the preder means the fat. They arranged that too. Already said you do the pieces, so I know it includes that. That's part of all the nesochim. You're gonna skin the koilo and you cut into pieces. Maybe you do have shato only the things that you're going to cut after shchita, meaning you shecht. Then you're going to cut the animal and then you skin it. So I'm telling you that the skinning should be in the place of the something which is cut now, but the head was already cut. From here you learn the head was already cut. That's the mocker. Why does the Torah tell you the rosh? Because the rosh, I would think, is not part of the body because he's already cut. Why was it already cut? Because you shechted. See, shchit is not sofer. So it says, so from here you learn, you have to also skin the head. It says the Gemara, the fact that you tell me the rosh is already cut off, good. That's what it has. Very good. So that was the drasha of the Bryce of the time. So the Gemara, 1 second. In the beginning it says, it's a rosh, it's a pader from the pasuk in Vayikra Perek Al pasuk Chet. And then it says, it's rosh of his pidyon. When it says Talmud Loimar, you bring another pasuk. Why are you switching the pasuk? This rosh of his pidyon is a Perek Al pasuk base. 4 pasukim later. So why are you changing the pasuk to Yudash? So that thing was asking. Tana pasuk rosh peder, Messiah be rosh pidyon to the pasukim. Hakikah. Minayin le rabbi is a rosh kahutos. How do I know to add the rosh? That's the first pasuk. Why do you know the pasuk? To tell you, what's the chiddush over there? How do I know they should be first on the mizbeach? And put it on the mizbeach. So that's why I know it goes first. Says the Gemara. Peder kamo the kotzach one lamali. Why does the Torah say peder originally? It says it's a rosh, it's a peder. Bishma, you say rosh or pidyon, I tell you first. Why did you tell me peder originally? It says the Gemara by ketai kitzadu. I say, what do you do with the fat? Choifes a peder al beis hashchito ma'aleu. You take the fat, you put it on the beis hashchito, which means the sheikhet checks the neck. Then, after you take out the head, the neck has it's cut off in a nice way. So you want to cover it. How do you cover the place of the shechita? Put fat on top. Okay, so that's what it means. Rosh Peder, tell you the peder goes together with the head to cover it. Says more v'aytan ma'asim v'ochlon to the fire and the tani zoyis toyes abeima v'hoyv v'chibeizo toyros shavso beima lo'hoyv forever l'beima. Where do we have a comparison of Behemah Lo'i for Behemah? What do you mean? How do you know why it's not the same thing? Say, what do you mean? Behemah Metam B'Magu B'Maso. The Behemah has tumor. If you touch it, you carry it. Or if you know Metam B'Magu B'Maso. Or if it's only if you eat it. Or if Metam Godia B'Sabliya if you swallow. Behemah now to B'S Godia B'Sabliya. Behemah the Torah show the Behemah Lo'i for the Behemah because this pasuk is talking about also the tumor. The Melchoma Behemah B'Shchita Voy B'Shchita. So you're saying you learn the both of shechita. So if you're comparing the behemoth to oif, maybe you have to have both simonim. That's a chiluk. That's not a common. What's the comparison? We already learned that the oif you do with the neck. How do you know that? From Meliko. Because where's Meliko coming from? From the neck. So it's a behemoth, it's from the neck. Here is the source you do it from the neck. That's when the Gemara says the Tana Ma'aseh Me'ochel. We have another source to tell you they do it from the neck. Because you're comparing to a bird. If you talk about you're learning from a rifle, so it should be in the back. So you're saying very good. What you will do with Zois? Because we saw before, the first mandament says Zois to tell you it's not 2 simonim. You love Zois of Amina Ma'ayiv Siman Echot of Behemah Siman Echot. If you're learning Behemah from Oif, you do the opposite learning. I would say that the Oif is 1 simon and the Behemah is 1 simon. Because like one of Zois. So the first mandament learns Oif from Behemah. So to tell you Zois 2 and not 1, and 1 and not 2. The other mandament learns Behemah from Oif to tell you 2 and not 1. So the Gemara Tani Bar Kapro Zois Torres Behemah ve'oif Itil Akosov Loif Ben Behemah Ledogim. Because the Lord Shabbos again is Zois Torres Behemah ve'oif Chodev Shachar Yemes B'Mayim. So referring to the water. So you have Behemah, Oif, water. Why you have Oif Ben Behemah Ledogim? L'chayver b'shnei simonim yevshar shvekahu kash l'dagim. It's compared to fish. Fish doesn't have shchitas, we'll see in a moment. The first below kulum yevshar shvekahu kash l'behemah. That's why it's only 1 semen. You know, something in the middle. And the Gemara goes on to explain it. How do you know the fish doesn't have to have shchito? Ilam should dechtivat soim v'boker yishochet lehem im kol degi ayom yosef lehem. When Moshe tells the Kodesh Baruch Hu, what are you going to do? You're going to shech the animals, or you're going to collect the fish? Much of the fish you don't have to shech, you just have to collect. When you look at the birds, it says over there, Moshe Rabbeinu said, it says in the Torah, "V'yosu taslav achanami da b'shchita." He told me, "No shchita v'amad lefoyta b'leklum yivsha." So you can't come and say nothing. Shugahu kishal be'emo. Says the Gemara, "Also l'ksivo asivu mekom shchita da'achrini." Here it doesn't say asifo. What's the word? Juxtaposed to the behemoth. It just says that asifos, it means you collected it. But here, you're saying shchita behemoth, and right next to it, you're saying asifo by oif. That tells you it's by dog, it's different. What's the idea? So it's brought down in the name of the Arizal that we're going to say that shchita means that you need to come, and it's something which is more chaymri. In order to make it kadosh and mutar la'achilo, you have to do more of a pe'ula to go and elevate it. So shchita means that you're coming in, you're cutting off the semen and letting the blood flow out. So you're separating the blood, which is considered to be hadam or nefesh. The nefesh is a taivos. Take that out, and you make that the animal edible. So an animal needs more in order to make it spiritual enough for human being to eat. Oif needs a little less. And dogim are considered to be mamish b'kodesh. That's one of the reasons, right down, there's 18 fish on Shabbos. Why? Because fish doesn't need shchita, which means it belongs to a higher level. So it says that what is going to be the Michael of tzaddikim l'asur lavai will be a livyosan. One union is livyosan, is the big fish, is the thing which in the mayim it already belongs to the higher place. What?
The rabbis eat fish with their hands.
No. Huh.
That's you.
Those hands are clean.
Why can they do it?
The silverware may not be clean.
It's not only fish. They use the bread with their hands, no? Okay, so tomorrow.
Real rabbis.
Darash, Oiver, Gililo, the Oiver Gililo Dash the following. Behemoth Shenivis Minyabosho was created from the land. Hechsher Vishne Simani. Because the land is the Oretz, that's where you have the Avodah. Dog usually not mine because of the water, because the water is the Mokoim which is reflected too, something which is beyond. You know, Haaretz Hayam not. Hayam is mine, Shem Lemsoy, belongs to the mouth. Rakak means a combination of earth and water, the mud. So it's something in between. The oif is a little bit of a fish. They do have scales in their feet like fish. So you see that there's some fish over there. It's like a fish animal. Yeah. Says the Gemara of Oy Choloi. Oy Choloi over here is referring to a Gemara that we have in Maseches B'Choros. There it says that there was questions that were asked. Who asked them? So Rashi brings over here that the one who asked is Kontikon HaHagmon is a Gamliel. The Taisa says it's not a Gamliel, it's asked Rechim Ben Zakkai. So there's many questions. One of the questions was the following question. Kosu Echad Oimer V'Yoimer Elokim Yishutzu Amayim Sheres Nefesh Chayo V'Oif Yoifif. So it says that the water created the oifis. Yishutzu Amayim Nefesh Chayo V'Oif Yoifif. And we might Ivru. It says from the Oretz or Nivro, Alma Iron Nivru. So was it created from the water or created from the earth? Combination of both. Rakak is the mud, is it's earth and water together. Some Talmidim look at each other. Is this the right answer? You have a problem that I said not a great answer to my enemy, means a goy. Minamayim it really is created from the water. In other words, when it says for Yitzhak doesn't mean he created from them. They were created from water, but he brought from the Adam. I mean, he brought them. From all the different species. He brought from all the different corners of earth to bring the Adam to give a name. But Yitzhak doesn't mean he was created. It was created right from the water. It was just collected from the Adam. Yeah. Some say the opposite. The second answer he told the Hagword. He said it was just collected for the people. It says because the Lashon was what he wanted to say they collected. He didn't like this answer because it says it's called Shemayim V'Yitzir Eitzir Namikai. That's what Rashi says for Pshat. Shachim shedichtiv al kolema mikra kama gufim ishtom advin haaretz yivru dichtiv al haaretz. Because it says in the first pasuk, Rashi doesn't like this answer so much, but it says in the first pasuk, it says Yishutzu Amayim V'Sheretz Chayav V'Vev al haaretz. It says haaretz there too. So that's the second explanation. The first explanation is it doesn't say when it brings the Adam, it says V'Yitzir Shalakim Mina Adamo Loshin Yitziru. So it's not only a sifa, it's Yitziru. So that's why that's a good answer. So it's the B'chlekes here in the L'sheris of the Gemara. What is the real answer? Is the real answer the oifas are half water, half covered the water, half covered the yabasha? Or the answer is no, they're fully covered in the water? Because that comes out of B'chlekes. I don't remember now, but I think in the shurim that were printed from Ramesh Shapir's Zatzal, I remember vaguely that he was speaking about this Indian. If the oif is fully water, half and half. So Be'ez Hashem, maybe tomorrow we'll start the shir with that. So it's going to have to be here tomorrow.
You notice that those birds they like to go to that part of the